webinar, and we are talking about many aspects of cryptocurrency and blockchain industry. And today we are talking about how we can bring crypto to India, and how this industry is growing in marketing as well. So today we have some experts from our industries. First, we have Aarushi, and we are and second, we have Nikhil with us, and third, we have Vikrant with us. From these are the experts which are making changes in marketing and making new rules, setting new rules in marketing in crypto industry. So first of all, I go to Aarushi, and can Aarushi tell me how you came to know about crypto and what is your journey? And third, we have Vikrant with us from.
Firstly, thank you so much, Aishwarya. It's amazing to be here. My journey in crypto actually started, funny enough, last year, I guess. Right. So, a lot of my friends, family, and mentors were getting into crypto, and at that time, I was very hesitant about going into the field and actually investing. It's amazing to be here. My journey in crypto actually started, funny enough, last year, I guess. Right. So, a lot of my friends.
You can continue, Aarushi.
Okay, great. So the primary thing was I started investing in crypto earlier last week, and ever since then, I started exploring various aspects of blockchain and crypto in general. And I was so deeply invested at that point that I was like, okay, maybe it's a good time to starting to venture into that field and learn more. So along at that time, I think an opportunity from OKEx also came in. So I was pretty excited about the fact that I could exercise what I'd learned, and I was experimenting with like one of the world's leading crypto exchanges. So that is pretty much in a nutshell how I started. Yeah.
Oh, great, great, great. And now I'll ask Nikhil to share his story, that how he came to the crypto industry and how he started his journey.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you guys for the invitation. I'd like to share my journey in a quick way. Like I was a college student at my engineering college at that time. Previously, I was into cybersecurity space, where people just one of my friends just tweeted about it. Like BTC is around $100. Next day it went to 200 and 400 likewise. So I was just curious, like what is this BTC? So I went through the research and find out that it is something decentralized where no one has control, and it's actually a network just like our what you say, a torrent network. So I started exploring it. Alongside, I started trading through India's first exchanges, like Unicoin was there. Later on, BTCX India was there. So these sort of exchanges, I was well connected. Later on, I moved ahead due to my college days. I didn't get good time. So as soon as my finished my college, I just got offered the post for the CEO for KnitFinance. So that was very good for me because I had a very good experience of last 4 to 5 years. I was into the ecosystem. I was into the meetups. I had attended International Blockchain Congress in Hyderabad. I met most of the peoples like Ilan Balena, Mandy, and even most of the founders or in ecosystem like Nishal is there, Sumit is there. So those are people whom I directly connected with, and that's how we grow our ecosystem and help each other to contribute to the ecosystem. And that's how I'm started exploring with the options, how we can actually help to the communities. And there we come with the KnitFinance, that there is something where people need wrapping solutions where they actually can have maximum yields out of their assets. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Now, Vikrant, we love to hear from you that how you started in crypto and what is your journey.
Sure. I think it wasn't late in 2015. I almost completed my final year of engineering. So my mother started trading in crypto, and she was like, in India, it was one of the most earliest groups who were trading in crypto back then. And she introduced me to Bitcoin, and there were still a lot of scams happening. I think Mount Gox or something. Then she introduced me to this thing that if a scammer transfers the currency, I mean, the blockchain will get to know. I mean, the people who are tracking the blockchain will get to know. So I was not able to understand this part, that how is it possible that you're not able to take out the currency out of the technology? So it was just a starting. I was getting more and more intrigued. I went to US. I was studying finance there. I was giving my CFA exams. I left them because there was no crypto in CFA back then. I wrote a research paper as I was very much troubled by all the financial frauds, auditing, accounting frauds, which were happening back then. So I wrote a research paper on this thing, that how we can use blockchain and side chains to build an ERP, a financial recording system, auditing, taxation, etc.
Yeah.
Then I got a job in London. It was also a blockchain-based data management company. We were tracking blockchain startups all over the world. We had a database of around 9,000 to 12,000 startups back then. And we were creating market intelligence reports. Then I joined, I've been in the crypto industry since then. I joined CoinDCX as a content manager and a researcher. We launched the academy, DCX Learn. Yeah, it was completely launched in the MICE operation. And now I'm working for Unido, which is an Australia-based DeFi startup. So with Unido, we are helping enterprises and institutional investors, how they can manage their assets, decentralized custodian solutions, etc.
Yeah, great hearing that. And it was amazing that we have grown so much. The community has grown so much that cryptocurrency and blockchain is like everywhere. Everyone is talking about it, and that's the thing. So let's start with the questions. We have first we go with Aarushi. I have a question for you, that how to promote crypto and sell crypto products services in India, right? The India is one of the biggest market right now, and it is one of the growing markets. People are liking and some are not liking, but there are people who are just want to get into the crypto, but they can't. So for a marketer, we have to choose and strategize for them. So can you tell us?
Sure. That's a good question, actually. So my experience has completely been in the fintech industry. So before I even get to crypto, I feel financial products itself, if not difficult, they're very complicated to break down to the user and take them through. And especially when we are talking about crypto, which is like a budding industry, we have like all sorts of news coming in every day. It's very tricky to actually tackle that. So my primary advice would be to make education as like marketing, like your marketing plan basically needs to be very comprehensive with educational aspects. Now, it doesn't have to essentially be maybe you choose like your niche audience would be, say, for example, pro traders, right? People who are already deeply vested into the ecosystem. It does not really mean that you stop educating them at that point. There's new information flooding in every day. So whatever your audience set is, you need to create marketing, educational, informational material every level of your audience. And it needs to basically start off from the basis, like the basics. Everything needs to be broken down in a very smart and effective manner. Nobody has that sort of attention span to grasp in like long forms of video. It can be short bites that you cater to your audience in the form of blogs, videos, reels, however. But education as an aspect is very essential when we're talking about promotion or selling. Apart from that, what I personally feel when it comes to, say, exchanges in general, and this is my personal opinion, right, is to have, say, a brand spokesperson or somebody who can connect with your audience. We're already dealing with virtual assets, right? So it's, for the masses at least, it's important to see a known face, a face that is actually vested into like the finance industry and has sufficient knowledge before they are giving it out. We're not just talking about anybody, any influencer, any KOL who just wants to collaborate. We're talking about people who are very precise in their field. So that sort of arrangement is also very crucial when you're talking about promotional aspects, right?
Yeah.
And the third part would be to have analogies when you're dealing with audiences that are new to crypto. So I don't know if you've heard about Bitcoin calculator, but if you, for example, break it down to the simplest part, if you show a user what they could be investing in, what's the potential of growth in a particular field with respect to something that they are already having. For example, if somebody is buying, say, a pair of shoes, if they invest that amount of money in, say, buying crypto at the earliest stage, what sort of payoff are they getting? It's important to have that sort of an analogy for the masses. And I think if you do that right, you do that well enough, you can really build on your community.
Yeah. So going forward with that, that the viewer span or a person's span is shortening day by day. So Nikhil, what do you think about this? That how we can promote and sell crypto in this fast moving and going forward with small and smaller span of viewers?
Yeah. So considering that question, building a community is the first part. When someone, what we say, develop a product, no matter what quality that product matches, but the user base and the community support is most important part in crypto ecosystem. I see most of the project have developed their product in a way that it matches the industry standard, but somewhere they're lacking into the community support and contribution from the community people. So if that way it can be what we say designed, so I think that will be helpful not only for the promotion but also selling of the product. There also one point needs to be mentioned, the tokenomics part. When some project launch their own token and some people randomly airdrop the person who doesn't have any association with those project, or they are just airdrop hunters. So that straightforward giveaway of airdrop doesn't make sense in this era, at least in 2021. In earlier days in 2018, that was make sense because at that time the evolution of the ecosystem was not at that mark. People are just trying to understand and just running behind the ecosystem and trying to get the airdrops. Last time I had one airdrop, which was just, I paid $15 for that, and current value for that airdrop was like around 50 to 80 lakhs. But drastically that airdrop people sold off, and price got drastically went down to 40 and $30. But idea behind that is to get an attention of the community and how you retain those attention in your product so that people utilize those tokenomics into your product and retain into the product. So that's where the education comes into the part. Even if we consider current situation, as Aarushi has suggested regarding the education parts need to be promoted in any manner, and how we can say a small bunch of bytes. Just like there are some communities like OKEx is running their OKEx warrior program for especially for the education purpose. There people are just educating. The DCX also has DCX Learn program where they are educating in form of some article and some small bunch of things. Blockchain India is also running some sort of campaign, some developer programs and some short infographics. So these parts help community to understand what's the concept is. They interact with, they ask question in the comments that these are the parts I am aware about, or these are the part I can explain in this manner. So there we comes into there those education parts come into the picture. I would like to say that is also equivalent what we say weightage we need to focus on, just like we consider for the product side.
Right. So going forward with that the user span is shorter and shorter. And we have to utilize what we have learned till now, and we have to move forward with that. So what are your thoughts, Vikrant, that how we can promote and sell crypto in the Indian market?
Sure. I would say, like, if you're, I would only speak with respect to a cryptocurrency exchange, right? If an exchange is going out and promoting its services and its platform, So for an exchange, you have two types of audiences. One is your retail investors, which are looking to just enter the markets, buy crypto, and possibly hold it. And then the second base you have is of traders who are rigorously placing their orders and looking for market opportunities each and every single day, right? So for both of these, customer bases are very different in their aspects, right? In the case of traders, they are well versed. They know about the technology. They know about what they're investing into, what they're trading into. They have a good base of technical analysis, fundamental analysis, etc. For retail investors, you might still find there are people who still don't know a thing about Bitcoin or even Ethereum or even the top coins, and they are still entered, they are still bought it. As Aarushi very rightly mentioned, they can see that potential in that asset. They have seen that there's an asset which has grown like 300-400% in an year, and it has never happened with a single asset in the entire history of humanity. So for the traders, I would say the very first thing you need to start entering into is YouTube, Reddits, and Telegrams and Twitter, right? Because there are very indulging and active discussions happening on all these four channels. Most importantly, they are looking for profits. They are looking for indicators. They are looking for signals. These traders and these group of traders will be your very valuable customers, as they will be your primary source of revenues. Yeah. And an exchange's revenue completely depends upon the trading fee. More the trades, more the revenue. So to promote your exchange in front of these traders, they will not bother about the trading span. But if there is a YouTube influencer, if there is a YouTube trader who uses your platform to show what he is trading, how he is trading, etc., indirectly your exchange is also getting promoted. Yeah. But then comes the second part, which is these retail investors. With these retail investors, as you mentioned, the time span is very less. You need to make the content and you need to make the content as relatable as possible. Use memes, use advertisements. You might see even these days, WazirX has sponsored Euros. CoinDCX is sponsoring cricket matches. They are even CoinSwitch, etc. I mean, they are taking so much use of celebrities because somehow or other way, these are the places where people relate themselves to. They're finding their entertainments, they're finding their funny content, their laughable content, etc. at these places. Other than that, I'm honestly surprised to see how effectively these exchanges are using Instagram. There are reels, there are memes, there are like all sorts of, again, any kind of new trend comes in the market, there is a meme related to crypto on Twitter or on Instagram. So if you want to market your products in front of especially retail investors like of our age, especially, I mean, you might have not seen people of our age haven't invested in gold till today, but they have bought Bitcoins, they have bought Ethereum because they have the sources, they have the platform, such an easy platform. And why? Because people around them are talking about it. People around them and themselves are finding very relatable content. So make use of as many types of content as you can, whether it is audios, whether it is videos, images, memes, GIFs, etc. And market your products with as much relatability as you can in front of these, especially these retail investors. And that will my take. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, we are using that. We are using all the platforms, social media platforms, and all that. But the one of the main powers is that spread of mouth. If you go in a public place and you talk about it, someone listens and then invest it, it will go much further and further than the social media and the sharing, because it sometimes it dies with like 2 and 3 shares, but the word of mouth is more powerful than that. So what's your take on that, Aarushi?
I sort of agree, given the fact that, crypto startups or new coins or tokens that are coming into the market, they might not have that sort of funding to, advertise or make it big into like mainstream channels. So you need really smart sort of tactics to market, right? And word of mouth, as you mentioned, is one of the greatest like drivers of purchases or like any sort of engagement. I personally feel community development is like one of the major things, but that's really said and done. Everybody is just uh, going behind and trying to like create their own community, have that personal connect with their audience, apart from also listing themselves as ICOs. And that is the trend that almost every crypto startup has been following. But majorly, I personally feel your marketing can be only as good as your product.
Yeah.
So you might bring in a lot of uh, you might create a lot of buzz, but if you really want to retain your audience, your product needs to be really strong. So at the end of the day, don't be a solution that is in search of a problem. Be somebody who you're actually like a first mover in a particular industry maybe, and you're creating something that people actually need. If you're talking about, say, Ethereum in general, back when in 2013, when it um, started listing as an ICO, I think the primary advantage that they had was the fact that they were doing something different than Bitcoin. They were not just going behind, listing themselves as a cryptocurrency solely. Their entire motive was to create, a sort of platform where decentralized applications would be built. And just look at how long they have stayed in the market for that. So my primary tip maybe would be the fact that you need to really have a strong product. Community development, ICO listing, everything can be secondary, but focus on your product. Yeah.
For going forward with that, the product, the actual products and the designing part, which Nikhil was talking earlier. So what do you think, Nikhil, that spread of mouth is more a powerful tool than like we have achieved right now with designing and the social media, or are you with the spread of mouth tools?
So I think, in my personal opinion, you both are equally important. When we get some users, or when some users refer their friends or their family to a product, then that product should match that quality. Suppose I am referring to any exchange and that exchange has some bugs, or their functionality is somewhere lagging, or there are some bugs which are unexpected. Even like a common sense, people will say like, when I click on a withdraw, there should be a withdrawal happen instantly, right? So that's a simple thing. But if I'm referring that things to other people, and people are saying that I open an account just by your suggestion, and it's not working for me, so that time the reputation of that referrer brings up down. So that is a equal part when we consider word of mouth over the product design or quality of the product, that both are equivalent in my point of view. And when we consider a word of mouth, we usually believe more than the actual advertisement. Even if I say any random advertisement on a TV set, or any say celebrities Instagram account or any account, then I would first did not check that or notice that, just because it's very new to me. I'm not sure like whether it is trustable or it has any quality matching with the industry. But at the same time, if one of my friend have actually using it and he is getting better result out of it, his performance or feedback is very good, then I will give more importance to them rather than the regular advertisement. So word of mouth has that type of what we say effect into the community, I would say.
Oh, yeah, that is true. And like affiliations and any other things which uses the tool word of mouth makes the product more reachable. What do you think, Vikrant, that it does it make more reachable to the persons, like you have said in your journey that your mother came to know this and you have gone from there. So if a relative or anyone just give me heads up about this in like 2012 or something, so I should have invested more, right? So what do you think?
True. Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I will second the thoughts of both Nikhil and Aarushi. Let me give an example. Let's take an example of Binance. Back in 2017, 18, this exchange was getting started, I mean, there was a time people were getting really annoyed by Bittrex, because Bittrex was listing every possible token out there, right? People started trusting Binance's model. Why? Because Binance started doing a heavy due diligence on the projects it was listing. First reason this, and second reason this. They created two views on the exchange. One was the classic and one was advanced. And people were really liking the classic view. Why? Because how easy it was there to trade cryptocurrencies. Binance didn't have a single fiat to crypto payment gateway back then. They only had crypto to crypto. It started only as a crypto to crypto exchange. And people had this kind of perception built in them that if a token is getting listed on Binance back then, it has to be a good token because the due diligence was so strong. Now, they didn't do a single advertisement, and they completely spread based on a word of mouth. They had a hack, but they maintained a very good stance of maintaining a complete transparency on what all has happened, how they are managing the entire situation, etc. So if you want to spread your product based on word of mouth, as Aarushi mentioned, product has to be top notch, right? I will break down to a very general factor, that is customer satisfaction, right? How easily and how effectively you are satisfying your customer. Your customer will be getting satisfied from the product. Second thing, from the customer support, especially in India when there are so many banking problems happening at the back end. And most importantly, when the traders and investors are not getting to know the primary reason why their deposits or withdrawals are stuck. Many of the times they are happening on the banking side because banks also have their own responsibilities of screening some of the transactions, etc., especially when they are RTGS, IMPS, etc. So for the customer, so if your exchange is having, let's say, 2 million customers and you're having just 20 people in your customer support, obviously there is going to be a flood of tickets, right? And people will be leaving with a certain dissatisfaction and certain, annoyance, I would say, that mera deposit lag gaya, mera withdrawal lag gaya, and all sorts of things, right? And you might be seeing in the comment section, wherever your presence is, even on social media, on even in your CEO's accounts, they will be just flooding their messages, solve my ticket, etc.
Yeah.
So on the customer support and on the community support part, the team needs to build. There has to be 24/7 support so that at least they are, another impression that there is someone they can all the time talk to. But the speed at which India's crypto ecosystem has grown, building such huge community support team is a very difficult task.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And second, third, I would bring down the customer satisfaction thing to, again, I would say, like, yeah, I mean, if your customer is leaving satisfied, happy, I won't say even happy, that yeah, his investments are safe, his investments are, he's able to buy, sell, do all the activities easily together on the platform, he will spread good words about your exchange, about your products, and even if you're a crypto project. But most importantly, the community support, the product, the scalability which your platform is having, that it is able to maintain such, not only just your platform, your entire organization is having, that it is able to handle the pressure of, let's say, 2 million customers. It needs to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're ready for that part, I'm definitely sure your customers will spread. And yeah, sorry, third thing, please maintain as much transparency about your project as you can. Please keep your CEOs, your executives as the front-facing people of your projects. Human interaction or human face brings a lot of credibility to the products, right? So these three things, if you're able to maintain transparency, community support, and product, I think you're very good to go. The word of mouth will spread very well.
That is true, and we are having some questions in our chat that most of the users are asking about the market crash and pumps. So any one of you would like to go on that, take a turn on that? So what are your thoughts, and what what we should expect as a marketers about this crash and all? Anyone?
I mean, if I had to go first, um, when you enter into the crypto industry as a marketer, you have to be very like you have to know the fact that volatility is not going anywhere. It's here to stay for a while. So, um, firstly, like I wouldn't want to make any major comments out there, but the fact that don't let just say a tweet or say an SNL live um, like direct
Yeah.
how you invest. Do your own research in a way that you find the project credible enough to invest in and put in your money. And of course, I mean, nobody is forcing you to, invest huge chunks of money. Just put as much as you think you can afford to lose, and do your experimentation, do your own research, and that should be it. Don't go by the volatility of the market. We are dealing with virtual assets. So, I mean, of course, at the end of the day, the value of Bitcoin is as real as the rupee,
Yeah.
but we are still in a very cocoon stage. So don't get affected by the volatility. That's what I would say.
Okay, and Nikhil, what do you think? Like for a long-term holding in this scenario we are going through, right? They are calling the crypto crash and whatever, but the volatility just gone higher and higher for that, right? So what is your take that a user should hold? Which coins should they hold? What are your take on that?
So I would not suggest any specific coins to be held, as Aarushi has mentioned, and all of our community members already know that there is a term called DYOR. Do your own research and only invest the amount of your money which you can afford to lose. When we invest in ICOs or early project in seed investment or private investment, we used to ask them first, what's your product, what solution you are building, and what is your team and what experience they have. So that's kind of a parameter we use to finalize whether to take decision on whether we should invest them or not. And even if that is okay, then how much the solution is liable into the community. Like if we say that I'm launching in an exchange in India, so I can see there are much competitors in India, like 5 to 10 exchanges are already there who are running their businesses good, and they have good amount of users also. And if I'm launching exchange in a market, then there is a less probability or much fund requirement to get that promote and build a strong product and community. So chances are very less that my exchange will get hit. But the same thing, if I have done it in a 2014 or 15, then it could have been a very hit to the market because there was no competition. So that's the difference you need to check with respect to the project. Even if you take an example of Matic, so earlier it was like 1 cent or 0.2 cent or likewise. Then later on is slowly getting started building. There are like 500 of dApps and ecosystems developed there. Still, people are thinking that why it's not growing. It's not about the if you are launching an announcement or product or anything else and your coins will go up. It's not like that. It has some parameters how that token will be utilized into the ecosystem, and how people are leveraging their ecosystem for their businesses. So that's how the price of token is decided by the market. Recently it was touched around like 2 or $2.5 something, and it's still trading at around point 8 or 6 cent 60 cents. So that's how the market drives, even if they have a good strong what we say background and ecosystem, still their price is low. So we should not focus on that. We should invest to this just because it's well known in the market or it has good reputability. It's our own research, how we took decision towards the project, what parameters we consider that this is how it will go, what fundamentals the project has, what team product has, and how their solution is feasible with the market in long run. So those parameters, I think we need to consider before selecting any token.
Yeah. Okay, and going to Vikrant, that what do you, how a marketer can survive in this crypto crash? Because like
How a marketer.
the higher ups are like, we
Hmm.
have to make it work, we have to make it work, like, right? So the sale has to go up and all those things, but as a marketer level, we have to strategize for this as well, because it is creating an negative impact right now, right? So so what are your thoughts on that? So how we as a marketer can make it work?
How as a marketer can we make it work? Okay, good question. Yeah, so if you might be seeing, as far as I'm seeing in a lot of DeFi projects around the world, what they're doing is they are definitely delaying their announcements. For the reason being, any kind of announcement they are making, it is possibly jumping their coin for like 10-15% and then back to the square level, like back to where it was, right? Because you might be seeing, if you are seeing many of these trading experts who are giving their views, they have definitely conveyed this thing that the market is on a very no trade level and a no trade zone, right? And it's not even an accumulation. Accumulation means, yes, people are buying, again, and then there will be a straight line and then it will shoot up. But people are saying it's in a no trade zone. Being in a no trade zone, you will see there is a massive drop in the volumes in exchanges. I've seen, there are exchanges who are trading like $100 million in a day. They have now dropped down to $41 million, right? And it's not just because Bitcoin has dropped from like 60 to 30, but from the exchanges part, please convey this, the importance of dips as well. Dips are not just a crash. If you're an investor, they are an opportunity to buy. There's a very famous term going on in the industry, which many of these investing experts are also communicating about: dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging means, for example, if you have 100 rupees, please do not put your entire 100 rupee at a single price, right? We are seeing the market going up and down. You need to be a very patient investor in these times. Put 20 rupees at one price, wait for the time. If you see the market dips again, put 20 another. If you see, wait for some time. If you see another drop, put 20 another. Track the dips, and most importantly, track the support levels, right, of your favorite coins, and like average the costings and average your investments across across like a different series of prices, right? This way, it will keep your average investing price also very stable. And this I'm only saying about people who are looking forward to hodl, right? And if you are hodling, please don't see crypto markets as just a monthly investment. Take your time frame of at least 2 to 3 years, because we have seen bearish markets in crypto for like 2.5 years. When Bitcoin dropped from $20,000, it dropped to 10, and then it dropped back to 3, and then it came back to 8, and then it went to 60, right? So we have seen these markets, and the bear cycles can be longer. It is definitely possible that it can be longer, but it doesn't mean that the bullish cycles won't exist. They will also exist. They will also have their own time, but it takes a lot of time to completely reverse the sentiment of the market, right?
Yeah.
You might see on Twitter, there are all sorts of debates, whether we are on bullish cycles, whether we are on bear cycles, etc. Doesn't matter. It's not our concern. Our concern is that we keep investing an amount of a portion of our amount we are planning to invest at different dips or at different support levels. For the early age investors, for retail investors, for hodlers, I find this as a very effective strategy. I have bought, let's say, for example, Polkadot at 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and as high as up to like 22. But there was a time Polkadot went to like 47. And then it is again back to $10. So if it is again back to $10, I'm going to put more of my money at $10 because it's a buying opportunity. So don't get emotional, don't get too much sentimental. And for the marketers as well, please convey the importance of dips, importance of, as Aarushi mentioned, volatility. Yes. Traders are taking very effective and very good advantage of these volatilities. They are placing their stop losses, they are buying more, selling more, even placing trades on margin. But if we are going to see markets if if we are just an investor, we need to see the market at a very large time frame, as I would say, as a multi-year time frame, not just a few months.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just covering the more ground, can you guys just tell users in your mother tongue that what is crypto for in layman's term? So Aarushi, can you start with it in your mother tongue? But yeah.
Sure. I mean, if I had to speak about crypto in the most simplest form, it would be the fact that you can't understand all of it in one word. There is so much that you actually need to research about. You need to understand what decentralized economies can be. And the fact that crypto is just part of DeFi. So um, for me, at least, it's about owning my money in the purest form, that my money truly belongs to me. It's an asset that is devoid of an entity, like one entity that manages it. It's not one government or like one person who has complete sole acquisition of that. It is something that everybody in the entire blockchain owns. And I think that is what I did throw around a few complicated terms for some crypto newbies, maybe. But if you really want to understand what crypto is, don't bank on one phrase. Go around, do your research, you'll find it interesting.
Yeah. So Nikhil, what is crypto? Can you just tell me in layman's terms, or even better in your mother tongue, that the Indian users can understand better?
Yeah, it will be very interesting to say it in my mother tongue, that is Marathi. मी बिटकॉइनला जर समजवायचा प्रयत्न केला तर सामान्य माणसाला असं सांगता येईल की बिटकॉइन ही कशी संकल्पना आहे की तुम्ही एखादा इन्व्हेस्टमेंट करता किंवा तुमचे पैसे त्यामध्ये टाकता तर ते पैसे तुमच्या कंट्रोलमध्ये असतात. जसं बँकेमध्ये तुम्ही गेल्यानंतर तुमचे पैसे बँक कंट्रोल करते. बँकेकडचे मॅनेजर्स किंवा त्यांचे एम्प्लॉईज ते तुमचा बॅलन्स बघू शकता किंवा ते त्या बॅलन्सला त्यांच्या म्युच्युअल फंड्समध्ये किंवा त्यांच्या इन्व्हेस्टमेंटमध्ये टाकू शकता. पण बिटकॉइन मध्ये अशी संकल्पना आहे की तुमच्याकडे जे वॉलेट आहे तुमचं त्यामध्ये तुमचा बॅलन्स असतो तो पूर्ण तुमच्या कंट्रोलमध्ये असतो. तुम्ही त्याला दुसऱ्याला दाखवू पण नाही शकत किंवा ते वॉलेट तुमचं आहे हे दुसऱ्याला पण नाही समजणार. आणि तुमच्याकडे ऍसेसिबिलिटी असते की तुम्ही कुठे त्याला स्पेंड करायचं आहे आणि कसं यूज करायचं आहे. दॅट्स व्हॉट आय कॅन से इन मदर टंग.
Thank you, Nikhil. And Vikrant, what is crypto? And can you tell me in layman's term and in your mother tongue, if you can?
Sure. मेरी मदर टंग हिंदी है. मेरे को और कोई लैंग्वेज नहीं आता. Yeah. So crypto in Hindi okay. मैं बस एक छोटा सा फर्क बताऊंगा ट्रेडिशनल करेंसीज, फियाट करेंसीज और क्रिप्टो में. आई थिंक दैट शुड बी इनफ. आज तक आपके पास एक ऐसी करेंसी थी, आई थिंक निखिल ने भी यही बात बोली जितना मुझे थोड़ी थोड़ी मराठी समझ में आ रही थी, कि आज तक आप एक करेंसी को एक रूल बुक के अकॉर्डिंग या एक सेट ऑफ रूल्स के अकॉर्डिंग आप उसको कंट्रोल कर रहे थे, उसको गवर्न कर रहे थे. ठीक है. और उस करेंसी का सप्लाई, उस करेंसी का कंट्रोल, उस करेंसी की बैकिंग, उस करेंसी का जितना भी एक तरह से सर्कुलेशन है, ठीक है, वो आज तक एक बॉडी कंट्रोल कर रही थी एक देश में. ऐसा सालों से होता आया हुआ है, राजाओं के टाइम से होता हुआ है. पहले राजा की अपनी ट्रेजरी होती थी, उनका अपना खजाना होता था, उनके अकाउंटेंट्स, उनके सीएस वगैरह होते थे, वो लोग करते थे. आज के ज़माने पे सेंट्रल बैंक्स होते हैं. पर एक आदमी ने थोड़ा इन्हीं सब चीज़ों से परेशान होके एक ऐसी करेंसी बनाई जिसका पूरा रूल, जिसका पूरा कंट्रोल, जिसका पूरा जो रूल बुक है या जो उसका सेट ऑफ लॉज हैं वो प्रोग्राम कंट्रोल करता है. हम आज के टाइम पे एक ऐसे समय पे आ चुके हैं कि एक प्रोग्राम, यानी एक प्रोग्राम में फीडेड उसके सेट ऑफ रूल्स पूरा का पूरा एक सिस्टम को कंट्रोल कर पाए, और वी एज ह्यूमंस, हम इंसान लोग उस प्रोग्राम को बस कंप्लाई करते रहें. उस प्रोग्राम की गवर्नेंस का पार्ट कोई भी बन सकता है. उस प्रोग्राम में जो करेंसी सर्कुलेट हो रही है उसको यूज, उसको ट्रांसैक्ट, उसको खरीद बेच कोई भी सकता है। सब कुछ ओपन है, सब कुछ ओपन। अगर आपको उसके प्रोग्राम्स में भी चेंजेस करने हैं, उसके लिए भी आपको सबकी सहमति लानी पड़ेगी। जैसे बिटकॉइन में बिटकॉइन इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रपोजल्स होते हैं, इंप्रूवमेंट प्रपोजल्स होते हैं, BIPs, वैसे इथेरियम में भी हैं। एक तरह से आपने एक ऐसी करेंसी का उत्पादन या एक ऐसी करेंसी निकाल दी है जो जनता के बीच रह के जनता ही कंट्रोल कर रही है और कोई नहीं। उसका प्राइस भी बस जनता ही, या बस जो उसके जितने लोग उसे खरीद बेच रहे हैं बस वो ही कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं। थोड़ी सी, हाँ, हम एक दूसरे डायरेक्शन में आ गए हैं जहां हम क्रिप्टो करेंसी को एज अ करेंसी से कम और एज एन इन्वेस्टमेंट ज्यादा देखते हैं। और ये एक ऐसा टाइम है, ये बहुत ही ना इवोल्यूशन वाला टाइम है। हम एक, हमारे सामने एक नया का नया मतलब एक प्रोडक्ट ही आ गया है, एक नई की नई एंटिटी आ गई है एज अ होल। तो एकदम से हम उसको लेके वही वही पिज्जा वाली कहानी हो जाएगी कि मैं किसी को 1,000 बिटकॉइन, 10,000 बिटकॉइन क्यों दूं 2 पिज्जा के लिए, और मैं क्यों लूं उससे। पर जब तक आपकी और मेरी सहमति नहीं होगी उसको लेने या देने की, उसका कोई रेलेवेंस नहीं है। यहीं पे सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट आ जाता है जो पूछते हैं कि बिटकॉइन की इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू क्या है। बिटकॉइन या किसी भी क्रिप्टो करेंसी की इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू जनता आपस में, यानी उसका नेटवर्क है, जो आज के जमाने में करोड़ों से भी ज्यादा हो गया है। इस दुनिया में कितने माइनर्स हैं जो उसको गवर्न कर रहे हैं, इसका अभी काउंट भी नहीं है, इतने ज्यादा हैं। तो बस इस डिफरेंस को जब तक हम याद रखेंगे, आई थिंक वी गुड।
Okay, thank you all for joining us and giving these insights which a marketer will definitely follow and useful. It will be very useful for any marketer in the world which is directly either is a part of cryptocurrency or blockchain environment or not. But thank you guys, thank you for joining us and have a nice day.
Thank you, guys.